Bo's new fight announcement.
It's fake news. Do I literally beat the shit out of this guy, or is it worse for me to just not fight him?
Folk style is better than freestyle.
F it, John Wick highlight.
Yeah. If somebody's a world champion, you don't have to think that much of how disciplined they are.
BETR already has the craziest multipliers in the industry, and we're taking it up a level. We're taking it up. It's going to be insane. 1,000x multipliers. You heard me right. 1,000x. All you got to do is add 4 boosts to your lineup. Not even that many. 4 boosts to your lineup, and get ready to win big. BETR has the UFC, so you can already lock me in there as a boost. We got the NBA, the NFL, the NHL, the MLB. They're all live in the app. Go download BETR. Use code BO. 1,000x. Win you some money.
Welcome back to Nickels and Dimes. As you can see, Tony got a little bit shorter over the weekend. A lot of...
a little shorter, a little thicker beard.
A little thicker beard.
A little more handsome? Or... Don't let him hear me. Don't let him hear that I said that.
A little less Italian. But we got Bryce Meredith today, 6-0 in the PFL. Just came off a big win. He was in State College to check out the Olympic trials. And you had some buddies competing there as well, I'm assuming.
Of course.
And, he's here sitting down with us, and we're going to go over a little bit of a recap of what happened this past weekend.
Yeah, and for those of y'all that don't know, Bryce and I have been best friends since we were like 5 years old. So, just a couple Wyoming boys in Pennsylvania.
Just a couple
on a podcast.
Cowboys out here doing it.
Let's go. But man. Obviously, Ronan brought up you just had a fight. So how was that?
It was good, man. 6-0. My last opponent, he was like 13.
He was good. He was 13-6,
yeah,
right?
13-6. He was on an 8-fight win streak, 7 by submission.
Right. Anthony Pettis, Showtime FC champ.
Yeah. So and then I think he had like another belt in like another regional scene. So
tough dude.
Yeah, pretty tough. Ended up fighting him. It was a good fight. He's just kind of like a junkyard dog, just a tough dude. We did not get the finish, which whatever. That's part of the game. But
knocked him down.
Yeah, I knocked him out once too.
Yeah, out cold. But then put
pretty
him back.
Funny. Yeah, I literally knocked him out. Saw it plain as day. I was like, oh, he's out. Punched him again. Whoa, woke back up, and I was like, wait, what? You can just wake him back up?
That's nuts.
And it was like funny because like even the announcer saw it because I thought maybe it was only what I saw.
Yeah.
Because when you're in the fight, you see things differently, right? Yeah. And I always say that like when refs call fights and like when they call stoppages and stuff, people are like, that's a bad stoppage. I'm like, yeah, but when you're in there, there's a different energy. Like when you can feel the energy of a fighter, that's what they're also basing their stoppage on. And people go, oh, he was fine. And it's like, no, the ref felt his life not being there.
All that would have happened is more unnecessary brain damage than what's already been occurred.
Yeah. So. And I think that's kind of what happened to this guy. Like, dude, we went to the back. He was throwing up and everything. Like, I think he got like an instant concussion from it. And that's like kind of also the part about fighting that like people, they just don't see that part. They really don't. Like, it's fun. You get done with the fight and then you go in the back, dude. And these people, they're limping. They like throwing up, like all this stuff. And like, that's like kind of where it's like so fun. But then that's like when you're like, because the high of it's done. You're like, oh yeah. Like, we really were just, like, trying to kill each other. Like, we say that loosely and for fun. I'm going to kill this guy. I want to beat this. All I want to do is beat the... And then, like, you do it, and you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. It actually would have been real. That way. Yeah, I think people are desensitized to, one, like, what we're actually doing, and two, just what it feels like. Because if all you do is watch on TV and you just see, like, Justin Gaethje and Max Holloway punching each other 500 times over 25 minutes, it's like, like, okay, that was a good shot. And it's like, dude, that shit hurts, bro. Like, getting hit in the face one time. Have your friend walk up to you, like just a random untrained guy, and just hit you in the face like 20%.
And just see
just do this. Like, just go.
Boom.
Like, just punch it, just get hit like that.
And watch how your brain just kind of shakes.
Yeah, like, just walk up and punch him, not even in like a soft part of your face. Punch yourself have him punch you in the forehead like this.
And you're like,
and see how that feels.
Yeah.
Not let alone an eye, a nose, your mouth, your chin.
And then you have a broken nose, like exactly. And getting jabbed in the face by somebody that has one of the like a nice fast jab. You're
Right.
like, yeah. And like sometimes I kind of feel that way. Like if I start just watching fights, I do that same thing too. And I almost like can just be like, oh, it's just a game. It's this or whatever. And you almost like need to either get in a fight or like have one of your friends fight or like have like a really crazy sparring session or whatever. So you'd be like, oh, this is real.
Right.
Like you gotta like know and understand that getting kicked in the leg doesn't feel very good.
Right. No.
Getting punched,
it's the worst.
but like, and I mean that's just where it's like, but that's what people want to watch. It's like I guess that's
entertaining.
The unique part. Like you really are. You're a clown. Like get out there and dance for me.
It's a circus.
It's that. It's like give people peanuts and beer and bread or whatever. And
I've been thinking about that. Yeah, exactly. Been thinking about it a lot lately. I forget which Roman emperor it was that said it, but it was like you give them bread and circuses and you control the masses. And it's like that's literally kind of obviously in the free market. It's not exactly like that because the UFC is not running a government, or the government's not running the UFC, but it is like that in just I think a social societal way where people got fast food and everything's pretty cheap, and they got entertainment on TV, whether it's sports or reality shows or whatever it is. It's like there's always something to watch, and not really worrying about what's actually going on and where your taxes are going and how crappy things are for the lower class and the middle class. It's like, oh, well, I got some wings and I got a UFC fight on Saturday, so it's all good.
And I mean, I think that's where like kind of the Romans, like when you like watch how their culture went, right? It was like, that's what it was. It becomes this indulgent thing. Give them peanuts, bread, beer, and then you give them this entertainment. And it's just like anything. It's like, first you want to watch two people fight. And then they were like putting like people in there with like bears.
Right.
And then they were like doing this. And it's just like, that's like the hit that like, it just keeps going up and up and up. But that's like what humans want to do. They just want to sit there and indulge in like violence, which is so weird. I don't really understand why people like watching violence, because we don't like violence in real life. You don't like. It's like, whoa, what the heck? I don't want to watch an animal get killed. I don't want to watch this. I don't want to have violence. But then there's just something innate in us that we like it. And that's why watching people fight is so fun. It's so unique.
Yeah, I think because humans don't have, like, you have to work to be empathetic. Empathy is not easy for most people. I think women naturally have more empathy than men, but empathy is not something that I think comes naturally. I think that we put ourselves in the shoes of the attacker, like the guy that's winning the fight, right? Like most of the time when you watch a fight, you're seeing it from the guy who, like, if you're not seeing yourself as the guy getting knocked out, you're seeing yourself as the guy winning the fight. And, so I think
that's like
especially as long as like you're somewhat neutral about the opponents, right? Like if it's just a random fight that you don't have a vested interest in, and you're anytime your brain's working, it's like, I think it's associating yourself with whatever you're watching.
I think a perfect example of this is when you watch an animal show. If they're putting the camera on the lion and they go, he hasn't ate for 2 days. It's been hard out there for him. You're like, get that gazelle.
Yeah.
I want you to get that gazelle. Like, eat, like whatever. But then if they put it on the gazelle, he was born, his whole life is running from lions. You're like, get away from the lion.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so funny. Like
the perspective.
Yeah. Like literally it's just whatever story is being told.
Yeah.
My perspective will go in favor of that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do that on animal shows all the time. Whichever one I'm watching, I'm like, I'm on your team.
You get invested.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. No, and I think that whatever we invest, I think everybody wants to, be successful. And if you think about it in a standpoint of biologically, the goal, if you just pure biology, the goal is like to accrue resources and to like be successful.
Yeah.
And that's like what winning a fight kind of represents.
For sure.
It's like you're physically more capable than this other person. And so that's like biologically ideal, right? It's like it's a better situation. So I think people identify with that.
Yeah, they do. And like, because okay, so at the end of the day, like humans, we're like pretty much pack animals, right? Like we do good in about like 100 people is about the max or whatever for like what humans, we're not bees. We're not like, the world kind of works like the hive mind, but like we don't really, we're not like, we are still more like monkeys and whatever. And when you look at like how they are, that's how they do it. Like they have these groups, and then also the one that is a little bit tougher, the one that is more competent, the one that requires more resource, and that like they go more towards like the sexual thing because that's what animals do.
Right. That's like,
but like that's like kind of like how we just are as beings. Like we're just like I want to win. I want to have people support me. I want to have this. I want to have that or whatever. And then we like watching other people do that because then we get to live that fantasy.
Right.
Like. I mean, that's like where I'm like, that's why we like watching movies. That's why we like watching The Joker, because there's a part of us that is that. We're like, I want to watch the freaking world burn.
Yeah, yeah.
But then there's also a part of me that's
the people
Batman.
the people that are just uppity and like just cause some chaos in their life.
Because we all kind of feel like that sometimes. Like,
I think it's a control thing. It's like, oh, I'm out of control of my life and I want to get control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I can get control, but the system is rigged or whatever, then you go, well, then let's let it burn.
Yeah, go outside the system.
But then you can be like, then the other side is like the Batman side, where it's like, no, I want to control this and I want to make the world better, right? And it's like, I think that's why those stories.
They're both playing outside
the same thing, right?
They're both playing outside the system, but they're just protagonist, antagonist.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people like seeing fighting as well because.
Well, that's a good question. Actually, we should hear from you because. You don't fight.
Yeah, you're not even a fighter, dude.
Yeah.
You don't even fight.
How did I get on this podcast?
No, Ronan trains, though. He does boxing, jiu-jitsu.
No, of course.
Yeah. But I think a lot of people also enjoy fighting from what you were saying about everyone wants to be the winner. Like they think about putting themselves in their shoes. And honestly, I think it also comes down to just it's in our DNA to like watching that. We've been seeing that for literally centuries,
right?
Like two humans have been fighting against each other, and people enjoy watching it. So I think that it's also just in us as Homo sapiens.
For sure. Right. So I was just thinking too, is it maybe a little bit why we like watching it too, is because it almost feels like the closest sport to like not having rules. Because right, so like we were watching the Olympic trials this weekend. It's great. But there's just so much, there's out of bounds. The ref did this. Somebody's challenging something. There's all these like breaks in the rules and this and stuff. And I feel like, and that's how it is like with football, you know. It's like, that tackle's illegal now. This is that. So there's just like all these like breaks, which is fine because it's a game and we like watching that. But I think sometimes our brain is just like, no, just give me just
freedom.
Give me
I was talking with, I think it was my mom about this, but if you like basketball, baseball, wrestling, football, like these are sports, aka games. Like they're games. And MMA is a sport, aka a game, but fighting is not a game. It's fighting. It's different. So if I get into, it should almost be called like an MMA match or something, because then it's a game, because there are some rules and stuff. But if you get into a fight, that's not a game. You know, like if you get into a fight on the street, you wouldn't say, I had a match, or it's like, but that's what we're doing in like what I'll say is a limitedly controlled environment. But it's not, so it is a game as a sport, MMA, but fighting is not a game. So it's weird.
It's a good way to
It's a weird like kind of place in sports and entertainment, and
Well, I think there's also like the contrast of in football, baseball, basketball, all these other teams or all these other sports, but especially football. It's the most barbaric probably out of the team sports besides rugby, but it's a team. Yeah. It's not like there's
it's
two
like war. It's like we have
exactly. It's way different than watching two individuals just battle it out, because someone can have a bad quarterback or someone can have like there's a lot of different variables.
Yeah.
In fighting, it's like
one person can mess it up for everybody.
Yeah.
And if in fighting it's like one person messes it up for themselves. But I liked back in the day when they did wars and they were just like, all right, our whole nation's gonna war and we don't need to kill like thousands of people. Let's just 1v1 it. Your best guy versus our best guy.
Yeah.
I love that.
Which is just crazy, right? Like
Sick.
doing like the frontline stuff, just like
I love
walking
that.
line in. And then also like people that do gun dueling to me is just the craziest stuff,
Yeah.
right? Like Wild West.
They should
stuff.
bring that back.
I'm from like, dude, one of our presidents, it was,
Yeah.
did a gun duel.
Right.
While being the president.
Yeah, that's
like
sick.
everybody thinks like,
Who was it?
I know, I can't remember, but dude, he literally did you imagine our president just being like, all right,
Mutual combat.
bam, we're going to shoot a gun at each other. Like, it makes no
Over
sense.
you like saying something disrespectful.
Yeah.
Over you told somebody that I disrespected you.
Yeah.
And it's like very like minimal thing.
Which, like, I wonder,
probably.
like, how much it actually happened. Like, how much were they actually gun dueling in the West? That's, like, my first thought. But then our president did it. So it's obviously
savage.
more than...
Andrew Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson.
He's got to be in my top 3.
Andrew Jackson.
Shout out Andrew Jackson.
My dog.
Yeah, that's respect,
And
bro. Respect.
I would imagine you won because I don't remember you dying.
No, he didn't die, so he's good. Yo, but I think that was a thing in gun duels, though. If you both shot each other and didn't die, it was like, all right, like we just move on.
Yeah, but now we both
We're shot.
might die.
I know.
And
But
would
what I'm
imagine,
saying is like,
I know.
let's like a month later, like they both survive. It's not like, oh, I shot you, and then like, okay, we're gonna do this again until one of us dies. It's like, all right, we settled it. Like we squashed the beef.
Yeah.
But how was it in John Wick? Because that's the real...
Dude,
That was
I've
a dope
never
one.
seen John Wick.
What?
Oh my
sorry.
God.
None of them?
Never seen any of them. And then I started watching it over Christmas, and then I fell asleep,
It's a great Christmas movie.
which
How
kind
did
of
you
is...
fall asleep?
I have a problem when it's 10 o'clock.
It's done.
Maybe you are like Tony.
Yeah, but only when you're watching a movie.
But I'm the bigger...
yeah.
I'm the bigger dime, so everybody remember all that. But I know, and then I'm like almost like I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch it. Like it's almost become like a thing in my head,
Yeah.
and then like I just never get to it.
You should just find an afternoon where you're by yourself and just freaking sit and watch.
Do the Joe Rogan thing where he's like, I run and watch John Wick over and over again, or whatever.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he like says that he like is on his Aerodyne or whatever, and he's like, I just put John Wick on and just watch that.
F it, John Wick highlight.
Yeah, just type in YouTube John Wick highlights, just him killing 30 people.
That's like 80% of the movies.
yeah, just him killing, right?
Yeah, it's dope though,
it's
the way
like-
to do it. He's just a character you love. He's like the guy you root for.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you watch the movie and you'll understand. Because you'll just be like, oh, he's so badass.
So, I mean, it's like, once again, it's like weird. It's like those things that we like watching, and it's like somebody does you wrong, I'm gonna kill you all.
Yeah.
Rambo, like Rambo,
Yeah, Rambo.
First Blood's best
Same.
movie ever, and
Yeah.
I'm not, but like it's so good because it's like, oh, these people are disrespecting you, and they draw First Blood.
Yeah.
And you go, I'm going to not kill you guys. I'm gonna almost kill all you guys because he's like, I'm so honorable that I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna almost kill you, and you're like, yeah, that's me, dude. Somebody does me wrong, I'm gonna do, and you're like,
Nah.
nah. That's how law-abiding citizens.
Law-abiding citizens.
I'm always like, yeah, if somebody did that to
No,
my
I
daughter, I'm gonna do that, and I'm
I
like,
think I would actually though. Like I think I would.
I would like,
for real.
yeah, but I'm just not gonna be as smart.
I would do it
as that guy.
exact. I think I could figure it out. I think I could.
Yeah, the only problem with that one was like, hey,
I would
man,
plan so hard. I
like,
would plan so heavy.
like, dude, he's just like in jail, and they're like, we have our eye on you, but they don't because he just runs. He just like goes.
He just like sneaks out.
sneaks out, and then he's like, yo, I'm just gonna disappear for 12 hours, but I'll see you in a little bit.
It's like,
and they're like, how did you do that? We have our eye on you.
It's like you're not
Well,
gonna
then
put
watch him.
you're not gonna put a camera in the cell
Yeah,
and watch him like go
Yeah.
out through his little friggin' hole.
but I love that movie. It's
That's
like
a dope movie.
one of the best.
Yeah.
All right, we got a couple other things to talk about, including Bo's new fight announcement. June 1st, you're fighting again
Yes.
against Jacob Malkoun, whatever
Yeah.
the heck his name is. The
Yeah,
IT
bro.
guy.
The IT guy.
Bo doesn't even know this.
I didn't
he
know.
is fighting June 1st. I signed the deal for him.
Yeah, so I found out that fight got signed and was official while in the middle of coaching the Olympic trials, and I never spoke to the UFC or anyone. So
I did it for him.
yeah, Bryce.
So you're welcome.
Was my
And
proxy?
Jacob, I'm sorry. You're gonna die.
He was my proxy. No, that's it's fake news. I don't know. It's crazy that dude would do that, but I thought it was kind of funny.
It's good publicity.
It actually does.
He did it.
Yeah, bro, he did it. He's the one that he photoshopped it and posted it. It kind of does make me want to beat his ass.
Dude, now
Yeah.
all the jokes in my head aren't true anymore.
Oh yeah.
I should fight him. I don't even know. I don't even know.
You
who this
thought
guy
somebody
is.
random did it?
I just thought it was like MMA.
I think he did it.
Like press stuff, just like.
So what I told was that he posted it. I got told that he
that's
posted
funny.
it. So I don't know. Maybe he wasn't the first one. Maybe somebody else posted it and he reposted it.
You want some clout, dude? Get off his.
Yeah. This dude's trying to hop on my shiz. You know?
He's sitting and spinning.
It's all good, bro. But it just, I feel like what a difference in vibe from Tony.
Yeah. So Tony got smaller, prettier, funnier,
more vibey,
and a little more inappropriate.
I love it. Yeah, but
Tony's at church. I'm sitting here being inappropriate.
Sitting there talking about sitting and spinning. I do feel like I'm just I have a dilemma where I'm like, do I literally beat the shit out of this guy, or is it worse for me to just not fight him? Like, I don't know. Probably, honestly, like if taking all the emotion out of it, like and the testosterone, it would just be like, yeah, F that dude. Like, I ain't fighting him. But reality is I'm kind of that guy. So I do want to freaking end his career.
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, we don't like street fighting. I don't want to fight anybody or whatever.
Right.
But you're not going to talk loosely.
Nah.
If you start talking crazy to me, I'm going to grab you by your throat and let you know.
You've done that.
I do it.
I've seen you do that.
I did it in a wrestling match. It was a little out of control.
You did in the middle of Nebraska arena.
Yeah.
And
dude, they posted that photo in their paper, Lincoln. Me grabbing him by the throat. I was like, it's funny that they did that.
It was that hype.
Yeah.
They had to.
Dude, right when I did it, grab Chad Red right by the throat, do it, boom, and then I did, and I was like, why did I just do that? Like, I'm in a wrestling match. You can't just be grabbing people by their throat,
just snatching
them up. But
that was great.
Yeah,
yeah, bro. I feel like.
But yeah, we might have to snatch this dude by his neck.
Yeah, he wasn't really like disrespectful or anything.
Yeah,
like he wasn't like this dude sucks or nothing. But he was just like, oh, grateful that I got this fight. And I think at the end of the day, he's just clout chasing. Like,
no, he definitely is clout chasing because he has 10,000 followers.
Yeah, of course.
Like the last 4 posts he's made have all been about you.
Yeah, of course. This dude loves me.
Being the IT guy.
All these dudes love me, bro. Like if we're being honest, like and they all are like, it's funny. I keep hearing this narrative. Oh, I want to get him now. This and that. It's like,
yeah, it's funny. And honestly, like I think it's kind of like that they say that they're like, I want to get him before he's
good,
even better.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
and I'm like,
all right.
And I'm like, don't say that.
Nah, it makes you sound like a.
Yeah, I'm like, so like, you're like, I'll fight him now, but in 2 years, I'm not fighting him. I'm like,
because I know in 2 years
that would never come out of my mouth where I go, I want to fight him now. But I know in 2 years, even though I think I'm going to be better in 2 years, I don't want to fight it. Like, people.
I mean, they all said the same thing.
And of course, because as of right now, this is Mr. Main Card Bo Nickal. Sure. So these guys, you know what I mean? You take that fight, get on the main card.
That's, I think, the other thing in their mind is
which, I agree. Like,
right. Yeah.
I would want that too. Like, hey, I'm 4-1 in the UFC or whatever. I'm probably not going to be on the main card yet. But
if I fight this dude, I can get on the main card because other than that, they're not going to be on the main card. Yeah, man.
They talked. Ariel asked you, or did you ask Ariel? I was watching the MMA Hour you were talking to Ariel, and didn't he ask you about taking that fight as well?
Malkoun? Yeah, he asked me, he was like, yo, what about this guy? I don't know why he brought it up. Maybe the dude was already calling me out.
About it,
okay, so the dude already called me out.
Oh, already?
And I was like, to be honest, what I said in that moment and how I still feel is he's like either a step down or a step lateral. And for me, I'm trying to step up. So it doesn't really make sense. He's 8-3. Nobody knows him.
Yeah.
He's not like a amazing fighter. Like he's good. He's won some fights, but it's not really like the path that I want to take in my career. Like I'm trying to fight better guys. I'm trying to fight guys that people are excited to see me fight. And I took 9 months off, and I think the Cody Brundage fight made sense for a lot of reasons. He's a wrestler. He presented new problems, but again, I'm looking to develop and improve and get better. This dude would not be a step up. Yeah. And that's just a fact.
So then for you, because everybody, when you say that and when they do that, then they go, all right, fight a top 5 guy then.
There's a little bit of room between those two
everybody
things.
Everybody's like, you go, oh, I want to develop. Oh, this. And then, but they're like, And then you're like, no, but I want to fight somebody a little bit better. Well, then fight the number 5 guy in the world. And you're
so
like,
you want me
dude,
to
I'm
either fight a
6-0.
guy? You want me to fight a guy who's 8-3, or you want me to fight a guy who's
30-3,
30-3, and who's number 5,
Yeah.
or number 2, or whatever? I'm like, there's some guys in between that are good and trained professionally that make sense, and it doesn't have to be either of those. Like, I'm not fighting a cab driver. I'm also not fighting a world champion with. I mean, these guys that I'm fighting. Cody Brundage has probably been fighting for 10 years.
Yeah.
I've been fighting for 2 years. Professionally, I've been fighting for a year and a half. Well, no, a year and 9 months.
Yeah, almost 2 years now.
Well, this is the thing too, that so your ranking came out on a couple different websites. You're around like 26, 27, and people are saying that like Cody Brundage is farther down than that after that fight. Well, of course he's going to move.
Well,
down.
I destroyed him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can't just get.
You can't look at that.
You can't just get taken down and finished, and
Not try.
Not land
and think that your ranking's going to go up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It probably should have gone up though, if I'm being honest. Like,
like when people lose to me, they go up.
The fact that he lasted to the second round, people will be like, Cody Brundage is real.
Yeah.
Like,
so
this is the real deal.
if you fight me, you're not winning. But if you make it the whole distance, then I think they should just rank you higher.
Cody
Because
Brundage might be top 15.
yeah, it's like honestly, just because you made it.
Yeah. Like, he could be a top 15 fighter in the world right
Breaking news: new rankings come out for 185. Cody Brundage, number 14.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what I'll talk with Dana next week.
Yeah,
Probably.
let me know how that goes.
Yeah, and we'll figure
No, I
it out.
already signed the deal. So
Oh, it's already done?
remember,
It's signed.
this Jacob guy or whatever.
I'm still getting 5%, right?
We'll talk.
Okay.
We'll talk off camera.
These guys, my managers.
We're gonna. I'm gonna get Bo. I'm gonna make him pay 20% this time. So I'm gonna give you 10.
Sounds fair. Sounds fair.
Breaking news. Bo signs with Bryce Meredith, and I get half his purse.
The last thing I want to talk about before going into the Olympic trials is you train in Arizona with that one guy with the
He's got like crazy hair, right?
crazy hair, drives some pretty crazy Lambos and stuff.
Yeah.
How is Sean O'Malley working with him? And you guys have a lot of killers in the 135 division at your gym.
Yeah. So right now at the MMA lab, we have 3 guys in the top 15 in the UFC. 3 guys in the top 15.
So it's the champ.
We have the champ, and then we have Kyler Phillips and Mario Batista, and then Marcus is 3-0 with 3 performance bonuses.
Yeah.
Knocking on that door or whatever. That's literally just those 4, and then we have like me and these other 8-1 guys and stuff. So we just have a room full of killers. By far the best gym in the world at 135. And I'm not saying that like
Would you consider you guys?
I'm not like it's like not a flex to me. Like I've never been that way. Like Wyoming's the best wrestling in the country. No.
Would you
Wyoming's
consider?
good, but
would you consider MMA lab at 135 the Penn State
Yes.
of mixed martial arts?
It pretty much is right now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, like, and then, yeah, we are. But no, man, Sean. This is like the one thing that I'll say about Sean. A lot of people they kind of see the lifestyle and stuff because he does the media, and then like he'll kind of like smoke weed and do the party and stuff. But the one thing I will say, he is actually the most disciplined dude, in like one of the most disciplined guys I've ever been around. He like parties like a couple times a year. Other than that,
It's just epic.
That dude is, it's just, and it's like, it's on camera. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, Nelk boys and this, that, the other thing. But it's like, that's just like the lifestyle that they do. But like the one thing that I always like tell people, like he really is one of the most disciplined dudes. He always is in the gym, always eating healthy, always doing like the right things, whatever. And like for me, because like on the outside looking in before, I didn't expect that. So that's like one thing that, is like, more impressive because everybody thinks he's kind of like a clown at times, like, and he's
now that
he's the champ, it's like a little bit less.
Yeah, it's distracting, like right with the hair and tattoos and like, again, hanging out with celebrities and stuff and smoking, but you can tell he's very committed and disciplined. Like I could just tell, obviously in the way he fights, but just look at a picture of him from 4 years ago and now, like his physique is different, like, and it.
Shouts out to Brandon Harris.
Yeah,
we have the same strength guy. He's my dog. He's such a good guy.
Yeah, so you can tell he's committed to it and loves MMA. I mean, he's freaking killing it, bro. He's definitely one of the best guys in the UFC right now.
Yeah, I remember I listened to a little bit of Patrick Bet-David's podcast with Sean, and I like that guy. He's fine, but he kept going like this. He goes, "All right, yeah, so you do this," but he's like, "Let's just pretend like, what if you were like a Russian and you were like more disciplined? Like these Russians, they're you know, they don't do anything. They don't care about the cars. They don't do this." And he like kept asking, and I was like, in my head, I wanted Sean or like anybody just like, I'm the fucking champ. Why are you talking to me about Russians? And like that, and that's how it is. And we know that with like wrestling and stuff. Like people are like, "Oh, the Russians." I'm like, you know, we're pretty good at wrestling too, right?
You know, for some reason, I think it started with the Rocky Balboa movie, but the Russians just got this reputation as robots, and it's like it's all a marketing thing. It's just marketing.
Yeah.
And I think we did it to ourselves. Like America did it. It's not them marketing themselves. They do a little bit, but they just mostly like don't speak English, so we can't hear anything from them. But it's a marketing ploy. It's all reputation. It's not based in actual reality.
And all right, so for me, it's like what people like, "Oh, all they do is train." I mean, they were poor. They had nothing. All they did was like just wrestle. And I'm like, okay, sure, but I'm like, that's all we did too.
Yeah, and
like
also like having nice facilities and money like improves your training.
Yeah, and it's not like these guys are just training 12 hours a day. USA Wrestling is pretty good.
Yeah.
So why are we acting like when like in MMA?
We've overtaken Russia. We're better. Like I'll say
we're close. Like
I'll say from like the 80s
and we
90s
don't cheat
through now. Oh yeah, obviously. Yeah, those dudes, all of them are on steroids for a fact.
We don't win the Olympics and then 5 years later get it taken away.
Dude, unbelievable. I don't even want to get into that because we can talk about that for 2 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously it goes without saying these dudes are all cheaters. But yeah, I think that right now the way I look at
it, they're more disciplined.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
I think it's just a different, like it's a different.
These guys have no idea.
Yeah, I was joking. I know interrupted, but
I know. I was just joking as well.
Well, it's just a different culture, different way of life. But I do want to say about last thing on Sean's stuff is that if you peel back the door, like you were saying, he's way more disciplined than anyone thinks he is. Like watches, like he goes over what he does in the morning. Like it's like a 2-hour process just to like take care of his body.
Right.
Like, and you wouldn't expect that, but it's also
so like, you know, like Brandon, like we'll do like breath work and stuff. And I like doing breath work or whatever, but like Sean, he'll come in before practice, do breath work. He'll get done with practice, he'll like find his breath again and stuff. You know what I mean? Like he's like doing stuff before and after where it's not like, "Oh, did you do 20 extra sprints?" Like when you're like a kid.
There's a lot of stuff that it's
like,
not.
yeah, like he shows up and he's focused or whatever. And that's like, and honestly, yeah. And I mean, a lot of people are like that too. I'm not like,
but I think people just don't see that from him.
Right.
Yeah.
The surface level of what
we're
he
only talking about
portrays.
it because people think he's the opposite.
Right.
Or whatever. And like, partially that's his fault. Not saying that, well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
not a fault.
Shows,
but
he shows that. But that's like the one thing I tell, because people are like, "Yo, he's crazy, huh?" And I'm like, no, he's not. Like, he's actually pretty calm, collected dude that just is like disciplined and worries about his shit. Like,
yeah, exactly.
But like, and that's kind of like what we're saying, like to end it, like, dude, like, okay, all right. There are the John Jones of the world that can like do it and be like, yeah, I was on coke 2 weeks ago and I beat your ass, DC, right? Like, but literally, bro, if somebody's a world champion, you don't have to think that much of how disciplined they are.
Right.
It's already been shown to you.
Yeah, it's been shown.
Man, how disciplined is that guy? How disciplined is Ilya Taporia? How he just showed you.
Yeah, he showed you.
Yeah.
He's the champ.
Yeah, there's no. Yeah, it's obvious. They put a lot of time into it. They didn't just roll up off the street and do that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I guess maybe John does though, which is
he's an outlier, but
Coke 2 weeks before a world championship fight is pretty impressive.
It's impressive in a different way.
No, kids. I'm not saying look up to it. I'm just saying,
Right.
it's something.
it's just, let's say that's not real. It's not. You can't consider that real. It's an outlier. It's something that you don't factor into reality.
Yeah, if you think that's how you're gonna get there, I promise you're not.
Guaranteed.
Let's finish off the podcast. Let's recap the Olympic trials and everything.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Freestyle isn't it.
Nah, but
I'm saying it now. Everybody needs to know this. Folk style is better than freestyle.
for sure.
But carry on.
I stand by that.
Well, I was texting Bo. I was like, because I didn't understand anything what was going. I understood a takedown was, and I like I'm saying,
you know wrestling.
Well, no, I don't know wrestling.
No,
He's watched enough that he should.
You know enough. Like
yeah. When I'm like sitting there, so I was watching. I think it was like before the heavyweight fight. It was like Macy, Kilty, the Scrap Life girl, and then her opponent, and like they like flipped in some way, and I was like,
what happened?
Nothing. Like what? Like why is their points getting awarded? And
right.
Stuff? So for me, it was like
happened.
super hard to follow.
Yeah, and one of my least favorite things is an exchange happens in wrestling and they go 2-2. Why are we playing a game that we both scored the same amount of points in an exchange?
Right,
much?
But you score the same amount of points, but whoever scored last has the advantage because they scored last. What?
Yeah, and then like criteria, like they'll put them on a clock.
No.
It was.
Let's talk about what actually happened and not talk about the rules. So,
that goes on.
Penn State, NLWC, we're going to have 4 out of the 6 reps, right? Yeah, 4 out of 6 Olympians.
Yeah.
So we have 65, 74,
practice,
86.
right?
Yeah, man. Oh, so I think 7 out of 12 Olympic trials finalists were NLWC Penn State.
It's pretty wild.
That's nuts.
And they just listen to the same song over on repeat at practice. So
Whoa.
So if you want to be great, do cocaine 2 weeks before or listen to the same song over and over again.
For multiple hours across months.
There's 2 ways to get there. Pick one.
Yeah.
Be a psycho.
It was 4 hours.
Basically, all it is have clinical psychological disorders.
Yeah. No, man, but it was good, man. Like, obviously.
Talk about it from your perspective. I want to hear, because, we haven't really talked.
Yeah. Dude, it's just fun to watch, like, these guys, bro. They're so good. Like for me, watching, like, Aaron Brooks just beat David Taylor 2 matches to none. Like, dude, David's pretty fucking good.
David, at that point, David was widely considered the pound-for-pound #1 wrestler in the world.
And then AB just goes out there and beats him 2 matches to none. And watch these guys, dude. Like, they can't even get a takedown.
Right.
Or like whatever, and I can't remember.
And they're amazing wrestlers.
They're the best wrestlers in the world. If they wrestle anybody in any other room, any college room other than like whatever, they will go an entire year practicing an hour and a half a day. They will get taken down maybe one time. Entire year. People don't understand that. Like, and like we talk, like once you hit like a level, you're like, dude, I got taken down 3 times my senior year in the practice room.
Right.
You're like, and people are like, what?
Right.
And you're like, no, it's that hard. Or like with Reese Humphrey and I, when he was my coach, I'm not sure if I ever got like a real takedown in a real match.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like sitting there and he jokes about it with me because like whatever. And he always says, the times I would let you take me down because we're getting close to competition. And the problem is sometimes I kind of believe it. I'm like,
right.
I'm like, yeah, like if we do a match and we're in it, I didn't get a 1 takedown.
Wow.
And I'm pretty good too.
Yeah, you're good.
The other side, people don't take me down. I could go, you know what I mean? So it's like.
I've tried to explain the levels of wrestling to people before that don't know wrestling. And it's like you can have somebody, so you can have like obviously a beginner wrestler. You can have somebody that wrestled for a few years. You can have like a good high school wrestler. You can have an elite high school wrestler. Like some of these kids are competing in Olympic trials out of high school. Like they're insane. And then you can have those guys wrestle like pretty good, decent college wrestlers and get beat. And then you can have those guys wrestle the best of the best college wrestlers and just absolutely whoop people. Like you can have, and then you have the outliers that are like Aaron Brooks, who went his entire senior year and didn't get taken down, or Jason Nolf, or Zane Rutherford. Like these guys are smashing everybody. Thank you. But these guys are like taking the second best guy in the country and beating him by 10 points, like dominating. Yeah. And then you have those guys, then they try to make the Olympic team and
can't get a takedown.
Takedown. Yeah, and then it's like, and that's pretty much as high as it gets at
Actually,
that point.
I didn't get to see Nolf day 2. How'd that match go?
It was tough, man. I'm not going to like air stuff out, but Jason was not 100%. I'll just say it that way.
Yeah.
Like
it's a good way to put
physically, he wasn't 100%, which was frustrating. He had been 100% all tournament and had a great tournament. And then, didn't really get to show his true self out there in his last 2 matches. And it was 3-1, I think, or something like that.
Just kind of like
3 push-outs,
stuff, right?
a shot clock point, 2 push-outs, and Jason got a push-out at the end. It was tough, man. He's honestly, man, to me, it's crazy how tough he is. Like, it's almost like unbelievable because what I've seen him do and push through. Like, this is a guy that had completely torn MCL, PCL, meniscus, multiple ligaments in his knee, and wins the NCAA tournament in fairly dominant fashion about 3 weeks later. And I was pretty upset after he lost. Obviously, I know how much he dedicated to trying to achieve his goals. And, I'd been in that same position just a few years earlier. And so I really felt for him. But he's always been, for me, like my favorite guy to watch.
Yeah.
Like, he's electric. And he just has something in him that's just, he's probably, I guess to sum it up, just different. He's the most savage competitor I've ever met.
Yeah.
Like, as far as just competing in a savage
dude,
mode.
I mean, I love watching Jason. Like, just the way, and then kind of what we were saying, that's the crazy part. He's one of the best offensive wrestlers in the world. And then you have a Kyle Dake who's obviously very, very good, and you can't score a takedown.
Well,
you wrestle for 12 minutes and you can't even, the only thing you get is a push out. Like, that's like, and that's how good people are. And like, that's how, and obviously that's the point of the game at the end, right? Is who gets a takedown, who doesn't is pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
But
I think, it needs to be said that at 74 kilos, like, there are really 3 guys in the world. There's Sidikov, there's Dake, and there's Nolf. Those guys are on another level. It's just 2 of them happen to be in the same country and have to wrestle each other off for the Olympic spot.
Yeah. So and JB, I mean, you got to, maybe not this year, but
no, I'm talking about right now.
Yeah.
As far as like the last 10 years, like, I mean, nobody can argue with his accomplishments. But I don't think he's like going to beat any of those guys. Like, he's good, but
we saw it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw, I mean, like, like, dude, it's hard to be 35 years old and have to cut 20, 30 pounds.
Yeah.
And then try to have the spark.
Yeah. He's done it for a long time. And so, I think that obviously there's no question about what he's been able to do in the sport. Right now, though, he's just not the guy.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah.
It's going to happen to everybody. Time's undefeated.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Zane was trying to look like me with the, busted up face. Because I'm pretty good at just getting cut, honestly.
I know. You can see that you got a little something
I've had stitches in my face 9 times.
So. 9 times?
Yeah.
I've literally never once had stitches.
Yeah, it's like the weirdest thing, dude. I don't know. It's just like the most simple thing happens.
You got that thin skin.
I got thin skin. I got really sharp features, just like chiseled.
Shoot.
That's why they call me dime, nickels and dimes, baby. What's up? But
it's more about your feet. It's the way your face is structured.
It's like a little bit of that, and then I think maybe I'd like maybe just like sporadic enough,
twitchy.
Yeah, like twitchy, like things are like my coach in college was like, Bryce,
chill,
just like it's okay, you know what I mean, like whatever. So it's like that, but Zane and Nickal, they both got split. That's what I was just trying to like. Change,
it was crazy. Just it didn't surprise me at all. That's just how they wrestle. Tough dudes.
Yeah,
tough dudes.
And headbutts.
They're not. They're just. They don't purposely try to headbutt people.
Oh, no.
They're just not afraid of it.
Yeah.
It's not like they're just not going to shy away from that. They're gonna be like, all right, you want to shoot? I'm going to block you with my freaking face.
And dude, that's like the funniest thing or whatever. That's like. So at Nationals my senior year, I got split twice. In the same tournament, I got split on my forehead and then split on my eye. And I was like joke with kids, and I go, it's because I'm head blocking. I spent my whole life, my dad, my entire life goes, you need to block with your head. And I'm like, nah, I'm just going to let him shoot and I'll freaking drape over like whatever. And then I'm like, I start head blocking and it's good. That's how you win matches. But I'm like, yeah, but I get cut. So I tell kids, I'm like, yo, you're a wrestler. You're not a model. You can put your face in there and let that face get cut up because you're head blocking. Put your head in the fight.
Let me correct you. Most people aren't models. Present company excluded. most people
Polo.
Most people can't rely on that. But I'm fortunate enough to just have some attractive podcast guests.
I mean, look at us.
Yeah. Look at
Who
us.
would have thought?
Beautiful.
But yeah, man.
Tony, not.
There will forever be a competition between who's my most handsome friend, and I'm here for it. I'm here to be a judge.
Yeah, Bo's
and
wedding.
admirer.
It's Bo, Tony, me, and I'm like, damn, that actually might be the attractiveness too. Bo win.
Nah. Let's be honest. Don't even play. Don't even play.
Sound off in the comments right now.
Who's the hottest?
Who's the hottest? Me, Bryce, or Tony, or Bo?
Yeah.
But he's not going.
I love how Ronan slid himself in there.
Well,
Matt Rife. Matt Rife looked like.
I would say,
Oh.
you know, a lot of people were saying that I look like Chris Pratt too.
What?
Yeah.
Dude,
I had a couple comments.
this last weekend, my buddy fought in the UFC, and all his friends met Chris Pratt.
No way.
Holy shit. I was one of those people.
He was like,
yo, between like Bo and all you guys and the friends, and then all his
17.
sisters. I literally got on Instagram and I just saw Chris Pratt.
it was like 17 of the same picture with Chris, and then like insert a new person next to him.
Yeah, it was like, and I was like, "What? Can I edit myself into one of these?" Just should have been there anyways, but yeah, Chris Pratt, I can see it.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I can see Matt Rife a little bit too. That's cool.
He's got the Matt Rife.
I like
vibes.
Matt Rife, dude. People are fucking haters.
Yeah, for real.
Let's talk about so do you guys want to finish up the Olympic trials at all? Aaron winning.
Let's finish up the Olympic trials and then
Yeah, it's like I just don't know like how, because I just get lost in the details and the details are boring.
No, it's all good.
So it's like
Yeah. Aaron won.
Yeah, so we got Brooks on the team. Super pumped about that. Now it kind of screwed me because I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Spencer Lee.
Oh, Spencer.
Fucking dude. Yeah. The fact that he can get the bar wrist in freestyle is beyond me, dude. I could get to my bar because I had my bar. I could get to my bar in freestyle and stuff, but just like him getting to a bar wrist against Thomas Gilman, who's a world silver medalist.
No, he's a world champion.
World champ.
Yeah,
Forgot. Yeah, and I'm like, how? How the heck is he getting to that still? It's like, it's amazing, dude. He must. I don't know. He must have some strength when he gets on top.
Yeah, he's good, man. Another thing that I thought was cool was Kyle Snyder, like the 11th person ever to make 3 Olympic teams. So 16, 21, 24, 11th person ever, which is, I mean, a feat in himself. I think he has, so this will be his, what is it, 10th world or Olympic medal.
And I wonder, do you know how many male freestyle guys are? Because like we're talking about 3 sports pretty much.
Right. Well, I don't know.
Greco, female, this. Like, so when we say 11th person, that's almost like.
It's probably less than 5, I would assume.
It has to be, right?
Does Greco count though?
Well, 3-time Olympians. Let's think about it. Who's even a
it does.
Who can you name that's a 3-time Olympian? John Smith, maybe. Bruce Baumgartner.
No, John only did 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he was like 6-time world champion.
6-time world champ, 1-time Olympic champ, or 5 worlds, 1 Olympic.
I think Bruce Baumgartner was 3-time Olympic.
That's honestly the only person I'd like that comes to my head of somebody that was just like.
Yeah. Anybody recently?
How many Olympics did Phelps
Who's even been a 2-time? I guess Dake's now 2-time. Burroughs was 2-time.
Dude, you know what's crazy is so Jordan has won. Now, if you talk about 16, 20, and 24, he only has won, 1 match in the Olympics?
Yeah, because he didn't make the team either the next 2 times. So.
Like that, it's just crazy, dude.
Helen's a 3-time Olympian.
Yeah.
But she just made her 3rd this
she
year,
just came out on some, she's a savage, bro. Like,
she's good.
She like, she like retired and like had her like concussion problems
she had
or whatever.
Concussion problems, got
she just
fixed.
came back and was like, haha, just joking.
Yeah. No, you know who's nasty, bro, is Amit Alor, the girl.
Yeah.
She's 20 years old, made the team, and like destroying everybody. She's already won 7 age group world championships.
Like,
so she's won U17, U20, U23, and a senior world championship. But she's won like 7 in total, and she's 20 years old.
Yeah, she's a stud.
She's sick. Yeah.
Dude, and that little the high school girl that's out of Arizona that won a boys state at 106.
Jimenez, right?
Yeah.
Audrey Jimenez.
Yeah, Audrey, and then
she's nasty.
And then she made the
finals.
Made the finals.
Lost to Hildebrandt, who I think Sarah Hildebrandt's a world silver.
Yeah.
Yeah, or world champion. I don't remember. World silver.
I can't remember. Yeah, for sure medalist.
Yeah, for sure.
And And I'm like, dang, dude, that's freaking savage.
No, yeah, there's so many good. Wrestling is getting way better.
Age
overall,
it's not bad. It's not like, okay, it is better. Obviously, I always believe sports get better. It's just like the RTCs actually did what they were supposed to when they first came out. They go, we just like need to have these here because we can like develop athletes at a younger age. We can do this and stuff. And now, 10 years later, that's what you see. 17-year-olds are ready.
57 kilos. The third and fourth place matches were
Two high schoolers.
Marcus Blaze and Jax Forrest. Nuts.
Bro.
Yeah, those guys, it's crazy.
Dude, I did pretty damn good in my career.
I
couldn't even fathom being on a national team at 17.
No, it's nuts.
At an Olympic year.
So my freshman
what?
year of college, I didn't even qualify. I was one spot out of qualify. I didn't even qualify for the trials.
I didn't qualify either, so.
I was a freshman in college. So
And
these kids are a year or two younger than
it really hurts me. Like, but I didn't even qualify. I lost to Yanni.
Frick, bro.
I lost to Yanni, J.O., and Frank Molinaro.
And that was in...
And I got sixth at U.S. Nationals,
Was that
U.S. Open, whatever you want to call it.
2020?
2020. And then and I get like really
So
hard
you
on
were one
myself.
spot away, right?
Yeah, because it was like the top 5 qualified or whatever, and I got 6th. And I was like, I was really hard on myself, and I'm like, just not that good at freestyle. I'm not this. Earlier in the tournament, I beat 2 national champs.
Yeah.
Or like national,
And Frank
one
was the
national
Olympian.
finalist or whatever. Frank was an Olympian who almost medaled.
He was, in the bronze match.
Jordan Oliver is one of the best at
Jordan
wrestling.
Oliver should have been Olympian.
Should have been Olympian. And then Yanni, obviously, who, whatever. And so I was like, oh, those are the 3 guys I lost to. I probably shouldn't be as hard on myself.
No.
But like, dude, it fucking bothered me. I mean, but
Yeah,
that's why.
of course.
But it was good. That's why I was like, all right, now we're ready to go fight.
Took you into a new path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was like ultimately what we thought was going to happen.
Right.
So just, I guess.
It was on God's timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, man, I appreciate you coming out. Always love you, bro. My oldest friend. And I hope you had a good weekend, and can't wait to see you fight again, and can't wait to hang out more.
Yeah, bro, it was great being here, meeting the son, all Ace Don
I
Dada.
know. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. You guys have a good life out here. You guys do things right.
You come visit more, and I'll come to Arizona more.
Yeah, come out to the desert.
Definitely.
But now we're in the summer, so maybe
we'll meet in the middle. We'll meet at in Austin, Lake Travis.
a
There you go.
bachelor party.
Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
Ronan, thank you, man. You've always been
All right.
a beautiful soul. So.
Thanks, Brian.
No, I mean that though. You've always been like you're a really sincere guy, and you work
Appreciate
hard,
it.
and everything that you do for Bo and stuff. Like with the media. Like, I mean, like it's great what you guys do. Like I want to do media, but I'm not good at it. I don't want to do it or whatever. And Bo, just like finding you and like everything that you do for it, and you having like a similar eye into this, whatever. It's amazing. Like. I might hire you someday, but
I appreciate it, man.
I can't afford him. I can't afford him anymore.
I have him locked down. So when I retire,
Whatever.
It's in my contract actually that I have to constantly move with Bo.
You have
the
like
next 15
you have an
years.
NDA or a non-compete.
yeah, I have non-compete.
Yeah, non-compete. You're like, and then it says explicitly, you cannot work with Bryce.
Oh man. All right, guys. See y'all.